For a long time, I thought if I get this one plugin, then my music will finally sound pro. But that's not what happened, because good music is the combination of lots of little things, little details that all add up to form something greater. Don't get me wrong, I love plugins and buy a lot of them, but you don't need plugins to make great music, because plugins don't write hits, they just enhance good ideas. So with Black Friday coming up, I thought it would be helpful to share some insights I wish I knew before spending thousands of dollars on plugins, and hopefully make sure your hard-earned money doesn't get wasted. Also, for you plugin nerds like me, I will be making an amazingly helpful Black Friday and Cyber Monday video. Make sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss those. It's a little click, and I'm sure you'll be really happy with these videos.
Can I make a big hit without expensive plugins? Yeah, our biggest hit was made with only the Logic plugins. So, yeah.
The song we just showed you, not a single plugin outside of Logic, and I would say Latch is pretty similar to that.
Yes,
there might be a bit of H delay on it. That's it. That's it. Put it this way, everything you need to make a hit is in Logic. If you want to make that already amazing song which you wrote that had nothing to do with plugins about 5 or 10% better, buy plugins. That's all it does. It makes your already amazing idea a tiny bit better. But if your initial idea is there is no amount of money you can spend on plugins that will make the song good. And I'm never looking for a super clean professional mix now. I'm looking for character. I'm looking for vibe. I'm looking for like a surprise.
Okay, I know what you're thinking.
But look at Disclosure's new projects. They use a ton of plugins.
Yes, true, but don't forget, they had the good ideas before the plugins. Plugins help, but they are not a prerequisite. There's actually a lot of ways you can improve your music. Plugins and gear are just one of them. Here are some others. Music taste, musical skill, samples, sound design, presets, organization, experimentation, engineering skills, developing your ears, practice, arrangement, learning, and yes, also plugins. So if you're short on cash, don't worry about it. Just get busy creating more music, because waiting till you get the perfect gear is a recipe for disaster.
Do you reckon it's possible to mix on budget speakers? 100%. You just need to understand them, get to know them, and get to know how your room sounds. Don't focus too much on the speakers themselves. Focus on where you sit in the room, trying to treat the room as well, make it sound a bit like less echoey. You can do it. I won an award for mix on my first album, and I did it with nothing but a cheap pair of tannoys, some speakers that I bought in my dad's auction house, and Logic stock plugins. I'm not boasting, I'm just saying it can be done.
Part of this is just having the right attitude and flexing your creativity muscles. Laxcity is the master of this.
I feel like you need the right attitude to actually see the potential in having like all these limited tools. I've made the craziest sounds just by layering and using plugins in ways they're not supposed to, like literally breaking them. Just tweaking something in your DAW that's not supposed to be touched, like maybe this master pitch. You have to remember that everything in your DAW can be recorded. When you break something or tweak something that's not supposed to be messed around with, you might get the craziest sounds. But it's just all these discoveries that you find messing around with things that can push your production to the next level.
Let's be real. I'm going to buy plugins. You're probably going to buy plugins. So let's talk about some ways to make sure your money is actually well spent and not wasted. I think the best way to look at this is like a chef. Chefs don't have 50 knives. Most have a few, 2 to 20. Some are for filleting, some are for chopping, some are for specialized tasks. And yes, they spend a ton of time obsessing over their knives, like any good craftsperson, but they don't have 20 of the same knife. That's just a waste of money. So I think it's helpful to think about your plugins like this. And when you combine quality with specialization, you get a really powerful toolkit, because you have good quality tools that can tackle most problems. And remember, don't lose focus of what matters most.
All you want to focus on is the end product. It doesn't matter how you get to the end product. It's all about the end product, really. For example, I'm using downlifters here that are from Cymatics. Some people might be like, yo, don't use those downlifters because they're overused. If you're making music for normal people, they don't really care. They just care about the end result. If it sounds good, do it.
So a few helpful questions. Where are you struggling the most? Is it mixing, music skills, EQ, loudness, sound design? And what tool or resource would help you solve that problem? If you start there, your money should be well spent. And again, I'll go over all the best tools and deals on Black Friday and Cyber Monday to help you sort through a lot of noise. Another great goal is to optimize for fun. If there's a plugin that really inspires you, that you really love, just get it. The goal is to have fun making music and to do that for a very long time, not maintain some perfectly efficient industrial toolkit. The biggest danger is not wasting money, in my opinion. It's not having fun with music, because if you stop having fun, you'll probably stop making music because the pay is really
The best music you'll ever write is the stuff that you just mess around or just have as much fun as possible.
I like to apply Warren Buffett's idea of value investing to plugins. This is my Warren Buffett voice. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. As in, quality matters. All those plugins that I regret buying are those $10 plugins that I was never that interested in to begin with, but picked up because it was a quote deal. The lesson I learned is buy plugins you plan to use a lot. That can mean getting a deal, or it can mean spending more. The idea is don't buy plugins you know you'll need to replace later. Another thing to touch on is personal fit. My creative process is different from yours, and it should be. I really like mixing, but you might be more musical, so pick plugins that suit your process. Pick plugins that make you excited. If you're inspired by tools that help you work fast, like CLA plugins for example, fuck what the internet has to say about it. You can try it out and see if you like it. The only thing that matters is what helps your process, what helps your ideas turn into cool, finished music. So find plugins that work for you.
I usually just go for what's faster. Whenever I'm making music, what I want to do is create music. The last thing I want to do is go into making sure that the EQ is completely doing surgical things into my sounds. You do have some sort of limited time per day for creative ideas. There's times where you're making music and you just get so annoyed that you're not making anything good that you just stop. For that, I suggest that you sit down and just flow. Don't go crazy into the EQ and try to do some surgery into your sounds or anything like that. That long explanation, it's why I only did this little change on the claps, just to make it simpler for me to just keep on creating. It's already wide, and what I did was basically make it wider by using this. It really helps the kick.
Now, there's a few things DAWs don't do as well as third-party software. Stock EQ, limiters, synths, reverb, these all tend to be DAW weak points. Not to say you can't use them, but there are alternatives that sound better, which is more than enough reason for me to upgrade. There's also a whole new category of plugins, which I'm most excited about, that DAWs just don't include. I mean new and innovative plugins like music theory plugins, kick plugins, advanced transient shapers, multi-band saturation, analog gear emulations, smart plugins, and many more. Now, not all these new tools are actually helpful, but some of them are really cool, and some of them do open up new possibilities for creation or technical precision. So sometimes it makes sense to upgrade your existing tools, and sometimes these new and innovative tools might help you get unstuck. To summarize, you don't need plugins to write hits, but they can help. So if you decide to buy some plugins, aim for quality and variety, and make sure to get tools that help you have fun, or help you solve important problems. Personally, I love plugins, so keep an eye out for my best of Black Friday and Cyber Monday videos. If you have any suggestions on how to make those as helpful as humanly possible, let me know in the comments. Lastly, if you want to support the channel, make sure to use the links in the description. That helps keep this channel alive. So thank you, and see you soon.
Hit down.